Live from Paris, France, International Jazz Day 2015. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome seven-time Grammy Award winner Al Jarreau, performing Better Than Anything. Al is accompanied by Antonio Varao, Marcus Miller, and our drummer for this evening, Terry Lynn Carrington.
Better than anything. Better than anything. Better than little thing. Better than anything. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Here we go. Singing about better than sailing at midnight, better than diving for pearls, better than skiing at Aspen, better than feeding the squirrels, better than finding a horseshoe, better than losing your head, better than anything thought of, better than anything said, better than singing right out loud or being spotted in a crowd, better than anything except being in love, being in love. Better than 4 sets of dizzy, better than Count Basie's band, better than Rollins and Coltrane, better than being on the stand, better than Ella Fitzgerald, Miles' latest news, better than Blue Levin's ballads, better than Joe Williams' blues, better than hearing Lady Day or checking in at Monterey, better than anything except being in love, being in love. Better than Lucy and Desi, Route 66, better than Huntley, Brinkley, quiz shows office, better than Kildare Casey, singing with the Mitch, better than Hitchcock and Carl, better than clicking the switch, better than movies late at night, or watching a Bill Griffith fight, better than anything except being in love. Circus, better than elephants dancing, clowns on parade, better than peanuts and popcorn or fresh lemonade, better than rides on the midway, seals blowing horns, better than men shot from cannons, better than fresh ears of corn, better than balancing on wire or watching tigers lead through fire, better than anything except tag it. Better than anything except being in love, being in love. Better than anything except being in love. Bonsoir, ça va bien? Où avez-vous been? Better than anything. Better than anything. The tutti better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Director General of UNESCO, Irina Bokova.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UNESCO. UNESCO, a house of peace. Tonight, this is the house of jazz. Henri Matisse once said, "Jazz was rhythm and meaning," and I think he got it right. Jazz is a music at its most creative, most free. Jazz means dialogue, reaching out to others, bringing everyone on board. Jazz means respecting the rights and dignity of every woman and man. Jazz means courage, standing up for freedom, dignity, and rights against hatred and discrimination. This is why UNESCO created International Jazz Day. One of the most groundbreaking expressions of the 20th century. Jazz is already capturing the spirit of the 21st, with roots across the world, from Africa to Asia, from Europe to the Caribbean. Jazz is a universal language, crossing all borders, linking all generations. We need this more than ever today. Young women and men, especially, need new tools of peace that speak to the heart. This is why UNESCO is here, to help women and men make the most of humanity from our diversity on the basis of rights and respect against the hatred and discrimination. This is our message today, this evening, and the inspiration for this all-star global concert. For all this, allow me to thank our Goodwill Ambassador, Herbie Hancock, along with the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz. Let me thank also each of the artists involved for sharing their passion and their talent. Tonight, here at UNESCO and across the world, in events, concerts, masterclasses, being held in every country in the world. And in this spirit, I wish now to introduce a man who is profoundly committed to human rights and equal dignity, to advancing dialogue for peace. Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations.
Thank you so much, UNESCO Director General, Madam Irina Volkova, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, bonsoir, good evening. I'm grateful to UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador Herbie Hancock and the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz for consistently supporting the United Nations. I especially appreciate all the performers who brought their talents here tonight. This concert is a mini United Nations with musicians from all around the world. They speak the same language, the language of jazz. What a great spirit. It really inspires me. Sometimes when I hit a very tough wall, I listen to jazz. When you hear jazz, you learn the secret to solving any problem. You just have to improvise. Jazz is spontaneous, but it also takes a cooperation. That is why I agree with Herbie Hancock when he said, jazz is about working together and respecting each other. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to be in Paris in April. As the song goes, I never knew my heart could sing till April in Paris. Mesdames et messieurs, profitons de cette belle soirée et renouvelons notre engagement de promouvoir la paix et la culture partout dans le monde. Merci beaucoup.
Ladies and gentlemen, Grammy and Tony Award winner D.D. Bridgewater.
Bonsoir, Messieurs, dames. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, there is magic to be made. Throughout this evening, we're going to illustrate the ideals and mission of International Jazz Day with an all-star global concert of musicians, many of whom are collaborating on a world stage for the very first time, proving that mutual understanding and respect creates great music and that jazz is indeed a universal language. And now we welcome a South African pioneer, a jazz master who defines the essence and meaning of International Jazz Day. Beginning in the 1950s, his trumpet and early protest songs gave voice to an entire nation. Millions of disenfranchised men, women, and children who opposed the apartheid regime found dignity, solace, and unity in his music. His quest for human rights, his belief that music has the power to heal, and his legendary 6-decade career embodies the meaning of solidarity and freedom. Please welcome the brilliant Hugh Masekela with Hugh is accompanied by John Beasley, Marcus Miller, Mino Sinelu, Guillaume Perret, Avishai Cohen, Lee Ritenour, Michael Mayo, and Kelly Lee Evans performing Mandela, Bring Him Back Home.
A little more than 50 years ago, a group of young South African men were arrested and thrown into prison and sentenced to death for leading their people in the fight against apartheid. A little over 20 years ago, these same men were released from prison. And when they came out, they were very old, but their spirit wasn't broken. And they said to us, don't burn your country down like other people do when they get their freedom, but instead let us build this country together with those who oppressed us before. And let us forgive them, but we should never forget. And never again in the future of this land will one group of people ever get to dominate another again. And contrary to what a lot of naysayers and unbelievers thought, 3 days ago, on the 27th of April 2015, the people of South Africa celebrated their 21st anniversary as a free nation. And all those wonderful old geezers, many of them are leaving us now, and the ones that are still with us are very frail and old, but we will always cherish the legacy and the heritage they left for us. So I want to see all of you stand up here and shake a little booty. Let's shake a little booty here for all those old geezers and old men, Nelson Mandela. Let me see you move to the left, to the right. Bring back Nelson Mandela.
And now, please welcome two-time Grammy Award winner, Marcus Miller.
Happy Jazz Day, everybody. Happy Jazz Day. So when Brazilian musicians João Gilberto and Antonio Carlos Jobim created bossa nova over half a century ago, a sensual, memorable art form soon gripped the world with its fresh, imaginative sound. Take a moment and imagine lazily lying on a sandy Rio de Janeiro beach with the hot sun warming your bones, perhaps a rum drink by your side, smell of salt and coconut infusing the air. Then stir in a blend of samba and jazz, and you're on your way to feeling the bossa nova. There's a long-standing mutual respect between jazz and bossa nova, and the two art forms continue to energize and inspire each other and world culture. Our next artist has deservedly achieved monumental success by fusing her Brazilian roots, instrumental jazz, and her infectious voice. And now demonstrating the bossa nova with her performance of So Danço Samba, please welcome Eliana Elias, joined by Mark Johnson Claudio Roditi, Mino Sinalu, performing Carlos Jobim's So Danso Samba.
Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Já dancei o twist até demais, mas não sei, me cansei do calypso, já, já, já. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai. Já dancei o twist até demais, mas não sei, me cansei do calypso, já, já, já. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba, vai, 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 vai. Só dança o samba, só dança o samba.
Miles Davis, Max Roach, and Dizzy Gillespie called him one of the most exceptional trumpet players of all time, often described as the instrument's last great innovator. Woody Shaw could do it all. His genius and expertise spanned from bebop to the avant-garde. And now, performing jazz pioneer Woody Shaw's The Moon Train, please welcome Abu, Ben Williams, Guillaume Perret, and Till Bronner. And now, performing a classic Cuban song from the 1940s, Contigo en la Distancia, please welcome Rudy Perez, Isfar Sarabsky, Ben Williams, and Mino Sanelu.
Bonsoir.
No existe un momento del día en que pueda apartarme de ti. El mundo parece distinto cuando no estás junto a mí. No hay bella melodía en que no surjas tú, ni yo quiero escucharla. Si no la escuchas tú, es que te has convertido en parte de mi alma. Ya nada me consuela si no estás tú también. Más allá de tus labios, del sol y las estrellas, contigo en la distancia, amada mía, estoy. Ben Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Que te has convertido en parte de mi alma. Ya nada me consuela si no estás tú también, tú también. Más allá de tus labios, del sol y las estrellas, contigo en la distancia, amada mía, estoy.
contigo en la distancia, amada mía.
Merci à tous.
A revered jazz master, a magical musician. Please welcome 10-time Grammy Award winner, the legendary Wayne Shorter. With Dhafer Youssef, Antonio Ferral, Ben Williams, and Nuno Sanelu performing an original Dhafer Youssef composition, Hyaston Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage the sensational Dee Dee Bridgewater, singing Sacha Distel's classic song, La Belle Vie, joined by Grégoire Marais on harmonica.
Belle vie, sans amour, sans souci, sans problème. Oui, la belle vie, on est seul. On est libre et l'on s'aime. On s'amuse à passer avec tous ses copains. Des nuits blanches qui se penchent sur les petits matins. Mais la belle vie, sans amour, sans souci, sans problème. Oui, la belle vie, on s'enlace, on est triste et l'entraîne. Alors pense que je t'aime et quand tu auras compris, réveille-toi. Je serai là pour toi. sans souci, sans problème. Oui, la belle vie, on s'enlace, on est triste et l'entraîne. Alors pense que je t'aime, et quand tu auras compris, réveille-toi, je serai là pour toi.
Grégoire, Nino, Lee, Terry Lynn, merci beaucoup, messieurs, dames. Merci. Sacha Distel, La Belle Vie. Merci. J'aimerais... est-ce que ça marche? Hello, hello, hello. Ah voilà. J'aimerais remercier la France d'avoir ouvert ses portes grandes pour tous les musiciens qui sont venus des États-Unis pour faire leur vie de jazz ici. Merci pour tout cet amour que vous nous avez donné pendant toutes ces années. Et merci pour tout ce que vous m'avez offert pendant ma carrière ici en France. Thank you. This gentleman is a 14-time Grammy Award winner, an Academy Award winner, a Kennedy Center honoree, chairman of the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz, and UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador. Lord have mercy. Would you please give a warm welcome to my dear friend, Mr. Herbie Hancock. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Herbie will be joined. Wow. Herbie will be joined by Avishai Cohen, Igor Butman, and James Genus performing The Sorcerer.
Good evening to everyone joining us in Paris for the 4th Annual International Jazz Day. And many thanks to all of you who are watching throughout the world as we celebrate this most remarkable day with this all-star global concert. A day that champions freedom, encourages intercultural dialogue, fosters and strengthens human dignity, and connects millions of people in the name of jazz, a musical art form that from its inception has upheld and been an advocate for equality, cooperation, survival, and peace. Today, jazz in its historic cultural world took center stage everywhere people could gather. In theaters, jazz clubs, cultural institutions, schools, embassies, private homes, retirement homes, soup kitchens, restaurants, hospitals, boats, trains, and the street corners. And now, after only 4 years, Jazz Day has become a role model for others to follow, demonstrating and confirming that it's possible to build bridges among disparate societies, implementing the principles and ethics of jazz. Often, there's just a few inches of earth geographically separating nations that are millions of miles apart, philosophically, ethnically, religiously, and culturally. Physically, seeing neighbors across a thin border is easy, but uniting or even comprehending their divergent opinions and beliefs, it seems impossible, sometimes hopeless and implausible, and unfortunately, often unimaginable. International Jazz Day brings a beacon of hope into the mix because through the universal language of music, it provides large-scale opportunities to connect while listening to and respecting the intricate challenges facing our fellow man. We who celebrate Jazz Day are driven by a burning desire to listen, mingle, experience, and interpret the dissatisfaction that keeps societies apart. And we're constantly working together towards our goals of tolerance, mutual respect, and global peace. I know from traveling around the world innumerable times that we have much in common. But it's essential that we accept and respect each other's differences so we can move forward and discover the values, interests, and attitude that we all share. We can find mutual understanding and common ground through jazz. I've seen and experienced musicians from opposing sides, enemy nations, unite to create the most beautiful music and tell the sweetest stories. So, my friends, let's celebrate International Jazz Day each April 30th. But let us pledge to follow its values and reasons for existing every single day of the year. And now, please join me in welcoming my very good friend, Academy Award, Golden Globe, and Grammy Award winner, one of the world's greatest voices of all time, humanitarian and music icon, Annie Lennox.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. Oh. You better stop the things you do. I tell ya, I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You know better, Daddy. I can't stand it 'cause you put me down. Oh.
A 5-time Grammy Award winner. Please welcome the incomparable Dianne Reeves performing Mesta.
It ain't too late. No, it ain't too late to change your life. 'Cause every day
a chance, a chance, a chance, oh, a chance to make it right. You complain constantly about your life, your misery. On sunny days, you want rain, so you can moan and stay the same. Always saying what you can't do. Forget the fact that God made you. Point your finger, everybody else. I think it's time you check yourself. Hey, mister, can't you see the wonders of the universe? Can't you see the wonders of the universe? Hey, yeah. Something you get nothing, you get nothing. I can't stay here, 'cause you like dying, I like living, and I like flying. Gonna fly so high and free my soul. Gonna leave you here in your back hole. Hey, 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 mister, can't you see the wonders of the universe? Can't you see the wonders of the universe? so self-righteous. You can't move him, baby. I can't let you mess up my groove. No, no, mister. Can't you see the wonders of the universe? Can't you see the wonders of the universe? Yeah. Yeah. Thunder and lightning, ocean and blue skies, a world full of miracles. Help me to realize that I got the knowledge and I got the power, and each day's a new test to better tomorrow. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, hey, yeah. Well, everybody listen. I got a little melody that'll make you strong. I got a little melody that'll last real long. I got a little melody, it's just a tiny little song. I want everybody to sing, everybody let their voice go. Oh, hi, hey, whoa, hi, hey, hey, hey. Then you wait a little while, let it sink on in. Then you say it again. Whoa, hi, hey, whoa, hi, hey, hey. Then you let loose, let loose. Come on, everybody, let me hear you say, whoa, hi, hey.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. This is such an incredible night. I mean, you guys are out here, but I get to be backstage listening to everybody, meeting everybody, feeling everybody, and that's what jazz is about. It's great to be here with all of you this evening as we celebrate International Jazz Day here in Paris and around the world. Afrobeat is an intricate fusion of traditional Nigerian and Ghanaian music incorporating jazz, high life, and funk, which are blended together with percussion instruments and chanted vocal renderings. Founded in the late 1960s by Fela Kuti, the groundbreaking Nigerian-born music pioneer, human rights advocate, and political activist, Afrobeat has spread around the world carrying a message that inspires audiences to adopt social change. We are fortunate to have Fela's son with us this evening. Please put your hands together, put your hearts together, and welcome Mr. Femi Kuti performing his original song, No Place for My Dream. Femi is joined by John Beasley, James Genus, Terry Lynn Carrington, Guillaume Perret, Igor Butman, Abishai Cohen, Till Broner, Lee Rittenauer, Mino Sinelu, Kelly Lee Evans, and Michael Mayo. Have a good time.
To see everlasting peace, people smiling in the streets, singing the sweet song of peace. So I said, how'd you achieve my dream? Feeling proud and full of faith, excited, so to say. For people are short to see what I feel, but no, they said there's no place for my dream. Why don't you face reality? For great men have had that same dream, and you end up the same way. A dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero. The time I was to make them see happiness for all can be more than a dream. A dream come true for humanity. This dream can become a reality. So I set out to achieve my dream, feeling proud and full of faith, excited, so to say. For people are sure to see what I feel, but no, they said there's no place for my dream. Why don't you face reality? For great men have had the same dream, and you end up the same way. A dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero. I said I better wake up from my dream. I better wake up now before I wake up late. But nothing's never ever going to change. Life will always remain the same. Corruption, oppression will never end. I better put that in my head. As there's good, there must be bad. But that's the game of the life we have. So you see, there's no place for your dream where only good is meant to be. For great men have had the same dream, and you end up the same way. A dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero, a dead hero.
Woo! What a night, right? Thank you. As Jazz Day comes to a close, my heart is filled with joy and my mind is overflowing with possibilities. Today, under the banner of jazz for the 4th consecutive year, countless millions of people from every single part of our precious planet united in the belief that empathy for our fellow man is paramount, proving that jazz effectively promotes and restores human dignity, champions freedom, and inspires intercultural dialogue. The brilliant astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson encourages us to adopt a cosmic perspective and believes if we took more time to stop and look at the vastness of the universe, armies would cease to wage war. So let's take this moment to remember that each and every one of us is equal. We're citizens of the world living together on this earth, and we have nowhere else to go. All of us inhabit this place we call home. We're floating and hurtling through space and time at 67,000 miles per hour. And when seen from miles above, our amazing planet is actually just a sphere with no politics, a world with no wars, and a colossal heavenly body that has no borders. So we must pledge to solidify our efforts, and we must move mountains to uncover solutions to our incredibly difficult challenges, and at the same time, sustain and develop our ideal world. And now, before one final performance, I'd like to take a few moments to thank the government of France and the citizens of Paris for your very warm welcome and for serving as our global host this year. My heartfelt thanks to the citizens of all the United Nations and UNESCO member states who spent untold hours organizing Jazz Day events and creating a massive global movement whose success will be felt every single day of the year. And a special thank you to Tom Carter, to the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz, to UNESCO, and to my friend, my dear friend, Bill Powers. And to the millions of musicians, educators, and fans who are watching this broadcast. Please join us next April 30th for the 5th Annual International Jazz Day. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the stage the United States Deputy Secretary of State, Heather Higginbottom.
Thank you, Herbie. Good evening, distinguished guests here tonight, and to those who are watching around the world. I am so honored to join you to celebrate International Jazz Day. Thank you, Director General Bokova and UNESCO for hosting tonight's event, and a special thank you to the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz and UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador Herbie Hancock for creating such an incredible program. Herbie and the team at the Thelonious Monk Institute are truly the driving force, or one might say the backbeat, behind International Jazz Day. Perhaps no musical genre forges our common humanity more than jazz. While it was born in the United States, today jazz is embraced in every corner of the world. Jazz is global because its values are universal: freedom, a voice for the disenfranchised, and a near limitless possibility for creative expression, inspiration, and innovation. In the US, we've used jazz to engage the world for nearly 50 years, beginning with our Jazz Ambassadors program, which brought great artists like Dizzy Gillespie and Louis Armstrong to the world. And that's why we are so excited that UNESCO is embracing jazz as a global cultural bridge and is working with partners like the Thelonious Monk Institute to promote dialogue and understanding among all people. And with that, I'd like to turn it back to Herbie to make an exciting announcement about International Jazz Day 2016.
We're honored to announce that President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama will host next year's International Jazz Day All-Star Global Concert from the White House in Washington, D.C. So until next year, please integrate the message of International Jazz Day into your daily lives and make sure to spread the word. Tonight continues a tradition, and I love traditions. Last year, our All-Star Global musicians concluded the Jazz Day show in Osaka with a song stemming from a 2009 project where I banded together with almost 50 musicians from disparate nations, believing through music we could shine a bright light on and accentuate our commonality. I called this the Imagine Project, and the title came from the transformative song, Imagine, with a very wise sentiment created by one of the most inspiring and beautiful musicians of all time, John Lennon. Some may say his idea is radical, but after 4 years of International Jazz Day triumphs, I beg to differ. So, every year henceforth, we're going to end the International Jazz Day concert with Imagine. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. And you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. And now, I'd like to invite our global all-stars back to the stage, and they're ready for our traditional performance and its message of hope and solidarity. And thank you all for being an important part of International Jazz Day 2015. Thank you.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace.
kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living here at peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger or brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. Oh yeah. The only one will let me show they will join us, and the world will live. Say the border, stand at the left, one, the one. Say the left, so there. Give it to the look, go to the look.